Welcome, 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 welcome. Welcome in the sewing room. I'm so glad y'all are here with me today. It's kind of windy outside and it's breezy. That air is cool. I was cold downstairs this morning. I came upstairs and I thought it would be warmer and I was still cold. And so I saw little Miss Buttons hanging up there and went, you know what? I think I'll put her on. I got on 2 shirts. That air is cold outside today. It's our last hurrah before it turns to pure summer, I hope. I'd rather be able to turn the air conditioner on and cool it off than to have to heat it up. I don't know about you, but that's just me. If you're new to my channel, welcome. I'm so glad you stopped by. I hope you find a new place here and find you a good seat and decide to join us for a while. And my name is Lynn, and I'm tickled to death for you all to be here. This is my little corner of the attic, my sewing space, my happy place, whatever you want to call it. This is it, my little corner, and I'm in a corner, and I love it. I love, 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 love it. Today we are going to make, I've been waiting on this pattern and waiting on this pattern. Y'all, I've lost part of it. Oh, here it is. This little thing right here. Look at that little thing. Is that not just the cutest little thing? Can y'all see it? Now you can see it. It's called Suzy's Sack from This and That. And you know, I don't know where I ordered it from. This and That Patterns, they have a website, thisandthatpatterns.com. So there it is. And I just thought it was the cutest little thing. I thought, you know what, you could just carry that as a little purse. I don't know if it's big enough for your phone. It might be. Stick your phone and your wallet in. That's all you need to carry. You could even put a big long crossbody strap on it if you wanted to. But we're going to make it first just by the pattern. No, I've not made this before. I get on here with you all, and a lot of these things I have never made. Never, never, never. And I just follow the directions and show you how easy it is to do just by following the directions. A lot of sewing is reading your directions, thinking it through in your head, and then following and doing exactly what it says. Sometimes instructions are not always clear, as we've seen in some of my previous videos where I've purchased patterns. A lot of times pattern makers, pattern writers take for granted that you know how to put something together. Whether it is, you know, they assume that you've had some sewing experience. And when I'm doing something like this, and when I create a pattern, I try to tell you every little thing to do, because you may have never picked up a piece of fabric before, and it may be your first project. And I want you to succeed. I want you to be able to do this. So that's what I look for when when I'm going through patterns and I want to recommend to you all this pattern or that pattern or whatever, are the instructions incredibly clear? Okay? Because you want them to be very, very clear instructions. So for that reason, you want to be able to go through them step by step by step. And I like instructions broken down into: you cut this piece, you cut this piece, you cut this piece, you cut this piece. I don't like it to say, out of this fabric you're going to cut your main body, your blah blah blah. I want each piece written out, because it needs to tell you if it's a dress pattern or something like that. It needs to tell you what the markings on those patterns mean, like the straight of the grain and how you have to turn it and that kind of thing. Because if you've never sewn before, You may not understand all of that. So, with all that being said, let's see how well this pattern is written for Suzy's sack, which I think is just adorably cute. And it's got a, on the handle, I haven't gotten out the D-ring or the claw clip thing there, but I will get that out here in a minute. And that's the only thing I don't have out. And I have already cut all of our pieces. Okay, I've already cut all the pieces. Alright, and you've got a main fabric, a strap, which they're telling you to cut it out of the same as the lining, but I decided to mix it up just a little bit because it was 2.5 inches wide. And I thought, you know what? I've got jelly roll pieces down here. I bet I've got a piece of a jelly roll that I could use for the handle and add one more layer of cuteness to it. So that's what I did. But it tells you to cut it out of your lining fabric. That's not a problem. Easy peasy. You can do that without a problem. Got something in my eye. Then you've got your lining fabric. You've got your lightweight interfacing that is fusible. And that means it will say on the package or on the end of the bolt that it's fusible. And it'll have little bitty bumps right here on it. Okay? Little bitty bumps. And that's how you know it's fusible. That's the sticky part that you iron and it sticks. And that's what you want. And then it said lightweight batting. And I always use 100% cotton batting. And I save all of my little pieces. If I've made something large and I've got a piece, say this big or whatever, I save that. Because for things like this, you can usually find a little scrap that you can put in here. Don't throw anything away. I'm even saving all of these little bitty teeny tiny scraps like this. See how little and bitty that is? And these little bitty pieces like this right here. And I've got them all in a little bag. All in a little baggie right here. Because I've got a project we're going to do with all these little bitty teeny tiny scraps. Okay? So start saving them up as you're sewing. Save all your little tiny pieces, even your pieces of thread. Save every bit of that because we have a project coming that all of that will be used, and it's going to be such a cute project. You're going to love it. Okay? So you want to start saving all those little bitty pieces. All your little bitty pieces. Alright? And if they're a little bit big in the end, you know what? We cut them down. So, save all your little bitty scraps for another project coming. It'll be a while because I've got to save up more, or I could cut them up. I don't know. I'll get to it. Stay tuned. Stay with me, and you'll get there too. All right. I'm going to stack up all of our pieces, and I'm going to take them over here to the sewing machine and the iron. Okay? And I'll meet you all back on the other side over here at the machine, and we'll get this little thing made. Okay, are y'all ready? Have you got all your pieces cut out? Are y'all ready to sew this together? I am. I'm ready to get her put together. I'm excited to get this little bag put together. All right, got all of our pieces done. It says, let's begin. Iron fusible interfacing to wrong side of one main square. All right, so let's lay our pieces out here. Here is our main square. These are our main pieces. Here's our 7.5 inch square. To the wrong side of that, and then the next one it says, and two 3.5 by 7.5 inch main pieces. That would be this right here. All right, so I'm going to iron these. You iron yours. All righty. Get my pieces over here. Make sure your little bumpies are pointed down to the wrong side of your piece of fabric, okay? because that's what will make it stick. And you do not want to iron the little bumpies with your iron, because if you do, surprise, surprise, it'll stick to your iron. Then you'll have a big mess. Then you're going to have to stop what you're doing, let your iron cool, then clean your iron and hope you can get it all off. And it's just a big mess. So make sure your little bumpies are pointed down to the back side of your fabric, okay? And then we're just going to press it. Easy peasy. You can use a dry iron. I think it's probably what it tells you to use. I tend to steam everything, even though you're not supposed to all the time. I tend to. You just want to get it pressed on there really well. Alrighty, there we go. That is the first step. See, I like it when it tells that. And then it says, on matching batting units with right sides together, layer the lining square together with the main fabric and the main rectangle with the lining rectangle. Okay. I'm thinking. All right. So we've got this. It doesn't tell us how to lay them out because we're going to cut them, okay? So I'll set y'all over here and bring you down this way. Look, I got me a cutting mat. This one's old as the hills. It's dirty. It's filthy. I've done everything in the world with this old cutting mat. I've cut on it. I've glued on it. I've painted on it. I've done just all kinds of stuff on this old mat. It's old. Y'all can see over here. Look how old it is. It's just dirty. I mean, and it won't clean. I've cleaned it. It just won't clean. But that's just the way it is. So we're going to take this and this. And the sizes of this is a 7.5 inch square. And these are 7.5 by 3 3/4 inches. Okay? So let's lay these up here. We just have to stack all these up. And I'm doing them all right sides up because it does not tell me differently. All right, here we go. Same with our batting piece. They're all the same size. This is what's going to make the gusset in the bottom of our little bag. All right, let me grab a ruler and a rotary cutter and a piece of chalk so that we can mark it. And it says to cut a 1.25 inch square out of the bottom corners. Okay, this one goes this way. 1.25 inch out of each side. Now on these you do this one and then you do this one. They're not the same. Okay? And it shows you a picture right there. Okay? So we are going to do a 1.25 inch. We're just going to line this up just like this. 1.25 and 1.25. Now I'm going to mark it right here with this chalk. And then I will take my scissors and cut that out. One and a quarter. All right. There's that one marked. Let's do this one. that one. Now this one we need to do the opposite corner. Okay, now then, let me get a good pair of sharp scissors right here. Pick this up, all three of them laid together, and we're going to cut them right like this. Just cut out that square, just to where it comes to. Okay, and these little babies can go into our scrap pile. Yes, they can. All right, let's get all these lined up. Coco's barking down there. I don't know what she's barking at, but I hear her. She's probably got a ball in the house that she's not supposed to have in the house, and she's probably wanting to play in the house. And we don't play ball in the house because she likes for it to go like really, really crazy. And she's not happy if you just roll it across the floor. Okay, we'll line this up on this corner. Okie doke. We've got that taken care of now. All those over there. Now then it says trim the metal zipper, which our zipper's not metal, but all right, here we go. I'm not going to trim the end off of that because it doesn't really have a stop on it, and it's not metal. Mine is not metal. Now then, we've got our little tabs that we cut, and these are 1 1/4 by 2 inches. Okay, and I think we layer this with right sides together. Layer zipper tabs together. Here they are, right sides together. With the zipper end in between them, and stitch across the tabs. Right like this. Do it right like this. So I am going to move this up. Right like so. Okay. Did y'all see that? Since I'm not cutting the metal end off of mine because it's plastic and really doesn't have one, I'm just going to lay that right like that, right there at that edge, and lay this one right here at this edge, just like that. And I'm going to sew right across here. Does it tell me what size seam? It does not, so I will use a 1/4 inch seam. All right, I think it does tell me everything's 1/4 inch seams. Somewhere did I read that? Yes, use a 1/4 inch seam allowance. It does tell you that at the beginning of this pattern. So turn y'all around here. We'll sew this right up through here, and I'm gonna have to pin this or something. There's the pins, because this is slippery. Okay, let's see if we can get this on here. It's stitched at a 1/4 inch. Lost my foot pedal, y'all. Y'all know how that is. You lose your foot pedal. Well, it's not going to see. It's not wanting to stitch across the end of this zipper for some reason. So let's try it one more time. Sure I get it pinned well, both sides. Because for some reason this zipper is very slippery. Maybe it's just the zipper I'm using. Well, y'all, it might sew better if I had some thread in the bobbin. Do y'all think it would? Y'all think it would sew better if I had a bobbin thread? I do. Alright, I'm going to have to stop and wind me some bobbins. So I'm going to turn y'all off. I need to change your battery. So we'll come back after I get some bobbins threaded, your battery changed, and we'll regroup and start over. Okay, I'm back. Bobbins wound. We're ready to go now. Alright, let's try this now. One more time. You do kind of want to go over it a couple of times. Because that will take some abuse as far as where it is. Alright, now then, it says to turn this up this way. And y'all know we're going to press it. See how that looks pretty? Alright, we're going to press it. And then we're going to top stitch it. Alright, now then we're going to top stitch it. I'm going to change this foot because I don't need that foot. I need the other foot. 1 foot, 2 foot. No, what have I done with my other foot, you all? Somehow did it get put in the little basket where it goes? I did. I put it right there where it went. What do you know? Right where it's supposed to be. Now then I can see exactly where I want to place my stitches. We got it top stitched. Alright. Now then, with the lining rectangle on the batting and lining right side up. Okay, let's make sure it's right side up. On the batting, place the zipper. This is the back of it. That would be this piece right here. That's right. We need the smaller pieces because it shows us the picture. Okay? The lining. Right there. The lining right here. All right, let's see what it's saying on this side right here. Then we take this piece, let's see, take our zipper with the tab, zipper tape to the bottom edge. Okay. Okay, I'm a little bit confused, so let me look at this. With lining rectangular on batting and lining right side up, place zipper right side up on lining batting along the 7.5 inch edge, matching zipper tape to bottom edge. That would be this right here. Because then I assume we're going to cut the top of it off too. Okay? So that would be this right here. That's what it's showing right here. And it says, place main, alright. With lining a rectangle batting right side up on the lining, matching the zipper tape to the bottom edge. Zipper right side up on the lining. We did that. Now place the main fabric piece right side down. Zipper, lining, batting, layers, and stitch through all the layers. Alright, did y'all get that? We're going to line all this up, and I'm going to pin it. I'm putting 3 pins in it. Okay, we're going to sew it with a 1/4 inch seam right up through here. Alright, 1/4 inch seam. Oh, shoot. Back stitching when you start and when you stop. Look how pretty that is. Now then, repeat the other side of the zipper. Alright. So, we've got this. Tell me I cut it wrong, you know. This goes like this. This goes like this. Okay. All right, let's figure this out one more time. The batting and the lining, the zipper face up, right like this, and then this. All right, I got this one. Now then, we're going to pin it all in place, and we're going to stitch this with a 1/4 inch seam. Alright, stitch down through here a 1/4 inch seam, back stitch when you start and you stop, to secure everything, and take your pins out as you go. Now then, look at that. That's the front of our little bag. Can y'all see it? I think you can. Yeah, you can see it. Turn you down just a little bit more. I'll bring it up here a little closer. Now then, how's that? Look at that. Our yellow zipper. Because that's just what color we had that had pink on it. So I like the yellow. I think that's pretty. It's bright, cheery, happy, 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 happy. All right, now for some layering. Place lining on batting, right side up. Place zipper unit with lining side down. Then place main square interfacing right side down. So this goes like this. This goes like this. Okay, we've got lining on the batting. Here it is, our lining on our batting right here. Right side up. Place the zipper unit, that's this one, with lining side down. So our linings go pretty side to pretty side. And our outside pieces go pretty side to pretty side. All right? Now then, we are going to stitch 1/4 inch seam here, here, and here. All right? 1, 2, 3 seams. And I'm going to make sure all this is lined up. Good to go. 1/4 inch seam. Back stitch when you start and you stop. Now then, let's line this up. And here to here, right like this, making sure everything is lined up, and we're going to stitch right up through here. Alright, turn it so that the lining is on the outside, it says, and our main units are together. So here we go. Lining is on the outside, just like so. Just like so. Now then, and the main units are still together. Still pretty side to pretty side right here. The main pieces are still pretty side to pretty side. Our lining is on the outside all the way around. Okay? Now then, with right sides together, match bottom and side seams together and stitch across the corner. That's this right here. Right like so. See that? Turn it and stitch it. 1/4 inch seam all the way across there. we're going to do both sides. Zigzag across corners to finish the edges. Alright, so I'm going to change back to my zigzag foot so I can zigzag this. If you have a serger, and I do, but I'm trying to do these things with you also, you know that you do not have to have a serger. Now then, let's zigzag this. Put us on a zigzag stitch, and I'm going to turn it up to about a 5 width and about a 2 length. And I'm going to zigzag it twice. Over and back. Okay? Oh, broke our thread. Let's see if we can get our machine rethreaded here. Sometimes you have a little issue with your thread. It'll break for various reasons. And you have to rethread the machine, which is not a problem. Alright, let's try again. My bobbin thread's not pulled up now. It got cut too short. We'll try this again. You know, sometimes you just have to stop and start over. One more time. Think third time's a charm, maybe. Is that not through that needle? No, it's not. For whatever reason, it's not threaded. Pulled out. Alright, let's see. We got this caught some way. For some reason it's not pulling through, and it should be. Something is caught. Alright, let's try this again. Something's caught funny. Wasn't letting the thread come through. Your thread should pull through easily if your tension is not engaged, and mine was not. So there, it's doing a little bit better. Alright, let's try it again. Now we're cooking. Alright, let's see what we do next. Now it says to turn it right side out. Alright, here we go. Here's our little bag. So far, so good, right? Look at that, isn't that cute? Alright. I'm going to turn over to page 2. Tuck sides of bag into the top edge, 1 1/4 inches on both sides. Okay? And that you do just like this. Just like that. So let's mark that, and then we'll tuck it in. Going to mark it 1 1/4 inches right here. Right there. And right here. Same thing on this side. right like this, and we're going to match these up. Right like that. I'm going to put a clip on that. I've got one over here. Do the same thing on this side. Match up our lines right there. All right. Now then, baste across the top edge of the bag, and I'm going to pull my zipper down like this, because if I don't, it'll be caught up here and I won't be able to get it open, okay? So I'm just going to run a basting stitch right along this top edge. Pull that up close. Turn your stitch up to about a 5. All right, there we go. We basted that across there. Make sure zipper is pulled down so you don't cut it off. Now I told you that, remember? Trim excess end of zipper even with the top of the bag. Okay. There we go. There's our extra zipper pieces that we'll throw in the garbage because I don't know what you could use zipper this big for. All right, bag clip and handle with wrong sides together, fold long edges, and this is our handle piece right here. To meet in the center with wrong sides together, you want to fold it like this right here. Wrong sides together, pretty sides out. And we're going to press it just like this. Okay, now then, we're going to fold this to where these two pieces meet in the center, like this right here. Fold this side in and then fold this side in, just like that, so that that all meets, right like that. So we folded it in half and we pressed it. Now we're going to fold this side in here and this side in here to the middle where we pressed it, and we're going to press it again. All right, top stitch along both long edges. Okay, so we're going to top stitch this at 1/8 of an inch along this side right here and along this side right here. Got to turn your fan on, you're getting hot on me. Cool y'all down. Now then, turn your fan on so you can get cool. Alright, we've done that now. Now then, fold handle so that one side is 2.5 inches and the other is 10 inches long. Fold handle so that one is 2.5 inches. That'd be that. And this one is 10 inches. No. Like this. So that one side is 2.5 and the other is 10. Okay. 2.5 inches. So let's measure this. Okay. 2.5. And then this is 10. I've got 9.5, not quite 10. I've got a little folded it a little bit long there. Pull that up to 10. Fold this like this. Alright, so one side is 10 and one side is 2.5. Then folded edge of handle to center and top edge. Okay, is that right? Pin the folded edge, that's this, of the handle to center of the top edge. I assume that would be like that. You will be pinning the 10-inch side of the handle toward the bag. I need a picture for this one, you all. We'll press this real quick. Alright. Pin the folded edge, that's this piece, to the center of the top edge of the bag. To the center of the top edge of the bag. Pinning the 10-inch side toward the bag. That's like this right here. Alright, we got that? Center of the bag, the folded line, and the 10-inch piece toward the bag. With wrong sides together. Okay, we're just going to pin this right here. Because I'm still a little bit confused on this. Because I would think this would need to be zigzagged or something across there, but it doesn't tell us to do that. Maybe it will. Maybe it'll all become apparent here in a minute. Wrong sides together, fold binding in half and press. Here's our binding. It says wrong sides together, fold it in half and press. Alright, we did that. Now it'll measure 2 1/4 by 7. Matching rough edges, place binding along the back. Of the top edge, then fold sides around the front. I'm assuming that would be just like this. And it does show you a picture of this. And no, they're not supposed to come all the way to the center. Okay. We'll are still hot on me here. Cool on. Matching raw edges, place binding along the back side of top edge, then fold side around the front and stitch along top edge through all the layers. We're going to stitch this right here, 1/4 inch seam, all the way across the top. Does this go on the front or the back? I'm thinking maybe I've got that right there in the wrong place, because of what my picture is showing. I think I've got this should be on the back. Yes, back. Okay, so let's move this around like here. Now then, all right, now then, let me pin this. Seam. This would be good if you had a walking foot. Matter of fact, I'm going to trim this all really good and close and even. Now then. Fold binding up and fold to the front of the bag. Stitch down sides and across the front. All right. Let me grab some clips. This will be easier to clip than to pin. just about finished. Look at it. Isn't he cute? All right, now then. All right, fold rough edge, that's this right here, of the 2.5 inch side of the handle over twice around the D-ring. Okay. Here's our D-ring. They're called D-rings because they look like a letter D. That. I'm going to press it first. Stitch this down right here. And top stitch it to hold it. Now this is not going to be easy to top stitch. This should have been done before we added this to our bag, I think. I do. That would be my one thing for this would be to I think I was supposed to have folded that one more time, you all, but I did not. We'll go real slow, because if you hit that metal, it will break your needle. We got that. Now then, the same thing we do with this right here, our little claw clip. It's swivel hook. This calls it a gaucho. I used to wear pants called gauchos, y'all. They're as old as I am, you know what I'm talking about. Now this goes the same way. You gotta fold it twice. Right like that. Top stitch it. This one you've got a little more play in it. There you go. There it is. Just like that. Isn't that cute? Now we're supposed to put some buttons on it. Find some buttons. Got a whole big bag of buttons. I'm gonna get our button glue. Take us over here off the machine because I don't want us to. Because I don't like to sew on buttons. I'll sew about anything, but I do not like to sew on a button. I don't know about you, but I don't like to sew on a button. Look at that. Let's do this. Isn't that cute? Oh, look at that. The hot pink and then the yellow. It matches the pink and the yellow. I don't think we have a light pink button. We do have that one. We could put right in the center. Look at that. Let's do that right there. Isn't that cute? Zoom y'all in so you see. Now you can can see. Alright, let's start by gluing on our big button. Kind of glue it on right there. And we'll glue on our middle button. Then we'll glue on our little button. That way you can stack all your buttons up. Look at that. Isn't that cute? Y'all, it's not dry, so I can't hold it up straight. Y'all are hot on me. But there's our little bag. Unzipped. You can put all kinds of things in there. It's just cute as it can be. I love it. How cute. Y'all go make you one. And our buttons are sliding because I didn't sew them because I'm lazy like that. But yeah, with the yellow here, the yellow, and the yellow button, it just brings it all together. Yes, it does. It does, it does, it does. Well, I'm going to leave you right here with this one, you all. I'm going to try to hold it up so y'all can see it. Isn't it cute? Order the pattern. Instructions are clear. It's called Suzy's Sack from This and That. No, they didn't give me that. I bought that pattern. I don't even know how much it was. But I thought it was cute. It'd be fun for us to make together. So we've got more little fun things to do. I'm going to hang this over here on the wall. We'll use it as decoration, or I might give it away, or I might just carry it myself and put something in it. You just never know what I might do with this cute little sack right here, because it turned out just as cute as it can be. You open it up and the fabric in the middle matches the binding. Oh yes, cute, cute, cute. Y'all go make you some, and I will see you all in the next one. Thanks for watching.